The wind howled outside, rattling the windows of the small mountain cabin when 8-year-old Lily heard it. A faint knock, followed by a weak whimper. She froze. It was past midnight. No one should have been out there in a storm like this. Then came another sound, a soft, broken bark. Heart racing, Lily cracked open the door and gasped. An old man lay collapsed on the porch, snow covering his shoulders, a German shepherd curled tightly against him, both barely breathing. His trembling hand reached toward her, lips moving soundlessly. "Mom!" Lily screamed. Within moments, the warmth of their home became a lifeline, and what they discovered in the man's pocket would uncover a secret that changed everything. Snow fell in thick, silent waves over the pine forest, covering everything in white. Inside a small wooden cabin, 8-year-old Lily sat by the window, her chin resting on her hands as she watched the storm dance outside. The fire crackled softly behind her, and her mother hummed a quiet tune while knitting by the hearth. It was the kind of night that made the world feel small, safe, and warm, until a faint sound broke the calm. Thump, then a low, dragging sound. Lily frowned, pressing her ear against the window. At first, she thought it was just the wind, until she heard it again, a weak, pitiful whine. Her heart skipped. "Mom, someone's outside," she whispered. Her mother looked up sharply. "Stay here," she said, moving to the door. But Lily couldn't resist. She crept to the window, pulling the curtain aside. What she saw made her gasp. An old man sat slumped on the porch steps, snow piled on his shoulders. Beside him lay a German shepherd, motionless except for shallow breaths, blood staining the snow beneath his fur. The man's lips trembled as he tried to lift his hand toward the door. Lily screamed, "Mom!" and rushed forward. The door burst open, letting in a blast of freezing air. The old man's eyes fluttered weakly as he whispered, "Please, help him." And then, his body went still. That Lily's mother dropped to her knees beside the old man, her hands trembling as she checked for a pulse. "He's still breathing," she said, voice tight. "Help me get him inside." Together, they dragged the frail man over the threshold, his coat stiff with frost. The German shepherd whimpered, trying to lift his head, but his strength was gone. Lily knelt beside him, stroking his muzzle. "It's okay, boy," she whispered. "You're safe now." The cabin filled with the sound of hurried footsteps and labored breaths. Lily's mother wrapped the man in blankets near the fire, rubbing his hands to restore warmth. Steam rose from his clothes as the frost melted away. His skin was pale, lips blue, but his eyes flickered open for a moment. "Buddy," he rasped weakly, turning his head toward the dog. "Protect her." His hand trembled as it reached for Lily before falling limp again. That Lily's mother pressed a hand to his chest. "He's fading fast," she said. "We need to call for help." Lily nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. She looked down at the shepherd. The dog stared back, eyes full of pain and loyalty, refusing to leave his master's side. In that small, warm cabin, two strangers' lives now depended on one little girl's courage. As her mother spoke frantically into the old landline. Calling for help, Lily sat beside the unconscious man, her small hands clasped around his. His breathing was shallow, every exhale a whisper against the crackle of the fire. She noticed his jacket, torn, weather-beaten, and lined with patches from another life. Something poked out from the inside pocket. Lily hesitated, then gently pulled it free. A folded, wrinkled letter, sealed with trembling handwriting. On the front were 5 simple words. "To whoever finds us, please." Her heart pounded as she opened it. The paper was stained and torn, the ink smudged by snow. The first line made her chest tighten. "My name is Walter Briggs. I'm a veteran with no family left. My only friend is my dog, Buddy. If you find us, please know, we didn't come here to die. I came to find the cabin I built with my wife." Before she passed, Lily's throat tightened as she kept reading. "I promised her I'd return one last time, but the snow trapped us. Buddy stayed, even when I told him to run. He never left." A tear slipped down Lily's cheek. She looked at Buddy, who lay motionless but alert, eyes fixed on his master. "Don't worry," she whispered softly, her voice trembling. "I'll keep your promise for you." By morning, word had spread through the small mountain town. News traveled fast. A little girl had found a dying veteran and his loyal dog in the middle of a blizzard. Soon, Headlights glowed through the trees as neighbors arrived, bundled in coats and scarves, carrying blankets, firewood, and food. The quiet cabin that once echoed with only the sound of the wind now filled with voices of compassion. "Poor man," murmured Mrs. Turner, the local baker, placing soup on the table. "He must have been out there for days." Lily sat near the fireplace, gently petting Buddy's fur. The dog was weak but alive, wrapped in a thick quilt and resting his head on her lap. "He didn't leave him, not even in the snow," she said softly. The adults exchanged emotional glances. Not one of them could speak that a volunteer medic checked the old man's pulse, shaking his head. "He's holding on, but barely. It's a miracle he made it through the night." Outside, townspeople began repairing the broken fence, shoveling snow from the porch, and reinforcing the cabin walls. Lily's mother watched from the doorway, tears glistening in her eyes. "He's not alone anymore," she whispered. And for the first time in years, that lonely cabin felt alive, full of warmth, kindness, and hope. The storm had quieted by the second evening. The air was still, heavy with the kind of silence that carries unspoken goodbyes. Inside the cabin, Walter Briggs lay wrapped in blankets beside the fire, his breathing faint but steady. Lily sat close, holding his frail hand, while Buddy rested at his feet, eyes fixed on his master. When Walter's eyes fluttered open, everyone fell silent. He looked around the room, at the warm fire, at the strangers who had saved him, and finally at Lily. A weak smile touched his lips. You found us," he whispered. Lily nodded, tears brimming. "You're safe now." Walter's gaze shifted to Buddy. The dog lifted his head, tail thumping once. "He's been my only family," Walter said slowly. "Promise me, you'll take care of him." Lily squeezed his hand. "I promise." A tear slipped down the old man's cheek as his eyes grew distant. "Thank you, sweetheart. You gave an old soldier his peace." His grip loosened. The fire crackled softly, filling the silence that followed. Buddy whimpered once, pressing his nose to Walter's hand. Lily began to cry quietly, but her mother wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "You kept your promise, honey," she whispered. "He's home now." Days later, the snow began to melt, revealing the first hints of spring. The cabin, once a place of sorrow, now stood as a quiet symbol of love and second chances. A small wooden cross had been placed beneath the pine tree outside, with a plaque that read, "Walter Briggs, soldier, husband, friend." Lily stood beside it, bundled in her red coat, holding Buddy's leash. The German shepherd was stronger now, his wounds healed, his eyes bright once more. He sat beside her, tail resting gently on the ground, watching the sunrise. Her mother joined her, unfolding the local newspaper. Across the front page was the headline, "Little Girl Saves 2 Lives During Winter Storm." Below it, a photo of Lily and Buddy standing outside the cabin. Lily smiled faintly. "He's still watching us, isn't he?" she whispered. Her mother nodded. "I think he finally got to keep his promise. Through you." Lily knelt, placing a small wooden toy soldier at the base of the cross. "Goodbye, Mr. Walter," she said softly. "I'll take care of Buddy, forever." As the wind rustled through the trees, Buddy barked once, his eyes fixed on the sky. A final salute to the man who never gave up, even in the snow.